Kia ora. Thank you for watching the first video about tūhau, commands or instructions. The term for this type of language structure is an imperative, in Te Reo Māori, Ngā Tūhau. In this video, I'll be talking about 5 different ways to give commands or instructions in the affirmative. I want to start off by looking at the difference between affirmative and negative imperatives. Basically, an affirmative instruction is when you want to instruct someone to perform an action or adopt a certain attitude, and a negative one is when you're giving the instruction not to do it or to stop doing it. It might also be when you want to say, don't do it yet. Here's a brief overview of the 5 different ways to give an affirmative command in Te Reo Māori. The first and second of these are called simple active commands. The first one, by just saying the word on its own, and number 2, using e before the instruction word. Number 3 uses kia or ka before the word. Number 4 is using the simple passive form. This is done by adding a pimuri hangu, a passive suffix, or a hangu ending to the end of the word. The last one, number 5, is using me before the word to say should. Here's the first example of the simple active form. It's when you just say the word as an instruction, like whakarongo, listen, or titiro, look. Occasionally, these instruction words, or kupu tohu tohu, can be followed by these 4 little words that indicate the direction: mai, atu, ake, and iho. These are called directional particles, or puanga. In the case of all these examples here, it's fine to use the word alone because, as you can see in the 3rd bullet point, they all have 3 vowel sounds or more. You may have heard that it's because of the amount of syllables in a word, but a more accurate way to understand this rule is to take notice of the number of vowel sounds. Here is the second example of the simple active form, using e before the command word, when it only has 1 or 2 vowel sounds. Some examples listed here: e noho, e tu, e oma, and so on. If you do want to use a direction word, the rule changes because once you add mai, atu, ake, or iho, the 2 kupu together have more than 2 vowel sounds and will no longer need the e. The third type of affirmative command I want to share with you is kia. We use the word kia either before a tuahua, describing word, to infer we want something to be, to let something be a certain way, like in these examples: kia kaha, kia maia, kia manuanui, be strong, be brave, be resolute or persistent. You can also use kia to say let something be good. Kia pai te rā, literally meaning let the day be good, or have a good day. Kia haumaru te haerenga, let the journey be safe, or in more natural English, have a safe trip. When we use kia before an action word, it means let's do something. Kia haere tonu, let's keep going, or kia wānanga, let's discuss. You can add taua, you and I, or tātou, all of us, afterwards to add detail about who the speaker is talking about, as in kia karakia tātou, kia haere tātou, ki te whare taonga, let's all of us go to the museum, or kia wānanga taua, let's you and I discuss. Using ka before a word is similar to kia, but it's generally only used with a tūmahi. It's also followed by taua or tātou. I've noted here that the order of the words can also change around. So in the first example, we say ka first and then the action word, and then the ones being spoken about. Ka haere tonu tātou, ka wānanga taua. But in the second set of examples, it's flipped around. Tātou ka or taua ka. For example, tātou ka ata haere, let's all go carefully. And taua ka hikoi ki te papatākaro, let's you and I walk to the park. Number 4, the simple passive form. This one is about adding endings or suffixes to the end of a word to change it from a common tūmahi into a tūhau, from an action word into an instruction. These endings are called passive suffixes or pi muri hāngu. There are 13 different commonly used endings and I've listed them all here. When we do this to word, it's called whakahāngu, changing a word into a kupu hāngu. I want to give you an example of how this works. Let's start with an everyday action word, manawa, which means to welcome. Not to be confused with manawa, with the short a sound, which means heart or pulse. We add the pi muri hāngu, the word ending, and in this case it's tia. Manawa goes from meaning to welcome it. It's now an instruction. To use this in a sentence, we would say something like, Manawatia a Matariki, welcome in Matariki, welcome in the coming of the Māori New Year. Here's another example, whiu, which means to throw. Adding the pi muri hāngu, a, changes it to whiua, throw it. In a sentence, whiua te poro, throw the ball. Here are a few more examples. I've highlighted the hāngu ending in each kupu. Remember, when the hāngu instruction word is used on its own, like the examples on the left, it just means whatever the action word is and then it. Pānuitia, read it. Tuhia, write it. Wānangahia, discuss it. Kaingia, eat it, and so on. You'll also notice that I've used a range of different endings on these words as well. The examples on the right include a bit more information. Whakapaia tō rūma moe, tidy your bedroom. Inu mia te kawhe, drink the coffee. Haroia ngā rihi, wash the dishes. And pātaihia te pātai, because pātai means question, but it also means ask. Here are the 13 suffixes again. I've made a video dedicated just to this topic, so if you want to learn more about these, please check out the video about whakahāngu. The last type of affirmative command is me. This type of instruction word is used when we want to say someone should do something. Like here and ka, it's also often followed by taua or tātou. But it can also be combined with a whole range of other words depending on who the speaker is saying should do the thing. Here are some examples. Me haere tonu tātou, me hoki atu taua, me mahitahi rātou, me oma ngā tamariki, and me kai koe. Me haere tonu tātou. Here's some examples of all 5 different momo tūhau using the same tūmahi, which is awhi. To hug. You'll notice that kia awhi taua and ka awhi taua both have the same English translation, and that awhi tia means hug it. We could also say awhi tia te rākau, hug the tree. I hope you've found this video helpful. I've created some practice activities for you to do and uploaded the document to the Tukua Te Reo website. So there you go. 5 different ways to give an affirmative command or instruction, whether you want to say do it, let's do it, or should do it. There's a kupu tūhau for every occasion. Be sure to check out my next tūhau video about negative commands and instructions too, for when you want to say don't do it. Koena ngā tūhau, nā reira, mahi a te mahi, kia kaha, kia maia, kia manua nui, kia ora koutou.